Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bazby. We're going to be talking about another guy who I've made a video talking about him slightly, about the hostage thing with the volleyball kids. This guy's name is Jonathon. He used to work for me back in 2005, or I'm sorry, 2015 to 2016. He was a server for me in the Van Alstyne Pizza Hut. He was a very interesting person, I should say, not fully interesting. So basically he looked like Randall from the Disney Channel show Recess. I'm gonna just minimize that and leave that over here in the corner so you can constantly understand. He wasn't sneaky like Randall. He just kind of walked like a velociraptor with his hands like this, and he talked like this, and he made this face whenever he talks, like he was like constipated. Hey, yeah, so he talked like that. And I think I remember a very defined feature of his face is his eyebrows. He did his own eyebrows. And I shit you not, they looked like PlayStation 2 graphics. I don't know how to describe this. It was very distracting when you looked at his eyebrows. I was like, oh God. So I'm going to basically be telling you guys two stories that happened with this kid. There's many of them. I don't want to put them all in one video, and I want to actually separate them into one video each because they're that funny and that good. But I figure I don't feel like changing clothes to make it look like I'm doing this every day, so I'm just going to put them in both in one video. So apologize, the lighting's getting bad, the sun is going down, but thank you for watching. So basically, the first one is everybody's favorite story about Jonathon. To understand his character, like I said, he walks funny, he talks funny, his eyebrows are a little funny. He doesn't listen to any kind of form of good advice. Everything you ever talked about, even if he wasn't involved, it would just instantly go straight to Fallout 4, because that's all that kid loved playing was Fallout 4. But so one day, I came to work, and I came in at like 10 a.m. We opened up at 11. Jonathon opened up the store, and he was putting salads together. And I came in, I was like something smelled like shit, and I couldn't figure out where it was, what it was. And I asked him, I was like, do you smell that? And he goes, oh, yeah, I smell it. I've smelt it all day. And I'm like, oh, okay, so have you tried to find it so we can get rid of the smell? And he goes, oh, no, I didn't. And I'm like, you stupid motherfucker, you've been here 2 hours and you've been smelling shit for 2 hours and you haven't tried to find it? Let me fix my light. Oh my God, this kid. I'm already getting mad. Sorry. That doesn't look like it's much better, but I don't care. So I'm like, you haven't found it? You haven't looked for it? You've just been dealing with the smell for 2 hours? So I'm like looking around the store, and I'm like, I looked under his shoes, and I looked under my shoes, thinking like, well, maybe we tracked it in. And I looked in, like, my store used to be kind of a big store, so I'm like looking underneath all the tables. I looked in the kitchen area. Like, the smell was very strong all through the entire restaurant. And I'm like, we can't open like this. Like, I can't lock that door if we're going to smell like this. So I have to find it. And I know it was very dumb of me, but I didn't even consider looking in the bathroom because I just figured it would have been too obvious, you know? So I'm thinking like, oh God, all right. So me and Jonathon are going. I open up the men's bathroom, thinking like, all right, bracing for the worst, because I know how dudes are. We're like the worst when it comes to public bathrooms. And I go in there, bathroom's clean. Actually, it didn't even smell. And I was like, oh no, don't tell me it's the girls' bathroom. Because I kind of had a theory like maybe there was like somebody put poop in the vent or something. But I go into the women's bathroom and it just blasted me like a truck. I was like, oh my God, this horrible smell. And I'm looking in there and I don't see it. And I'm like, where is it? I look inside the tampon box and somebody laid out a giant fucking turd. And it was like the smelliest shit I've ever seen. Or smelled, sorry. And I'm kind of like dumbfounded, like, when can somebody have done this? Because I closed the store the night before and I didn't smell anything like this. We mopped the bathrooms. I didn't smell anything like this. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I didn't consider checking the bathrooms. I just assumed somebody tracked it in. So I'm like, oh man, we're gonna have to get this out. Like I was thinking, like, all right, we're just gonna have to take the tampon box out and go spray it out in the back or the backyard, in the back of the store with a water hose. And I'm like, all right, let's go. We can go. And all of a sudden I hear bloop, and I freeze. And I just remembered I had this expression on my face, like kind of like I'm done with life, and like a look of fear and mortification. You know, I'm like that. And I try slowly. Turn like that, and I look at Jonathon. He's looking at his hand. He's like, "Oh man, it got all between my fingers," and I'm like, I about had a mental fucking breakdown. I swear to God, about had an aneurysm. My nose about started bleeding. I almost had to go to the hospital for, you know, fucking sheer stupidity. I let out a scream that is unhuman, that I'm not very proud of, because I just could not believe, could not understand somebody would be this fucking stupid. He looks just like this. He fucking picked up the turd with his hand and dropped it in the toilet. We have gloves. We have fucking gloves. I screamed. We have fucking gloves. What's the matter with you? And he was a germaphobe too. And he starts like going, oh my God. Oh. And I'm like, what the fuck went through your goddamn head? You cannot serve food. I don't care how much you wash your hands. I'm not letting you touch anything in this restaurant today. So I sent him home. And his mom had to come talk to me about it. Because his mom's like, he has a learning disability. I'm like, if he had that, and if I knew that, I wouldn't have hired him. Not trying to like, you know what I mean? Did you get what I'm saying? Jonathon picked up a fucking turd with his hand and dropped it in the toilet. And instead of immediately washing his hands, that's the kicker to it as well. Instead of immediately washing his hands, he stares at his hand in front of his boss. Oh, like my ring, it's an eyeball, by the way. But I'm kind of like, I'm still to this day, it's been like 5 years. I'm still, almost 5 years. I'm still to this day just kind of like dumbfounded by that. The other story comes from, like both of these stories happened in like 2 months of each other. I came into work early. We had a school pizza, or I'm sorry, we had a school order, or we had a contract with the school where we would make pizzas for the schools so I can get some extra revenue in the building to keep the store open. And I came in one morning and I was running late, but this is well before we were open, and Jonathon and my other manager, Jose, had actually managed to make the school order, load it, cut it, get it sent off before I ever got there without my help. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Very proud of you guys. You guys didn't fuck it up. I'm very pleased with this. So I get a phone call from my boss, Jimmy. So I go out into the dining room and I'm just talking to Jimmy about it. And I'm like, yeah, everything went smooth. Everything went really great, blah, blah, blah. And Jonathon comes out, walking like his little velociraptor self. And he stands there and he's just like, hey, Justin. And I thought he was going to talk about Fallout 4 again, because this is all this kid ever fucking did. It did not matter what the context to the conversation was. It just goes straight to Fallout 4. And I'm sick of that fucking game. I never even played it. So I'm kind of like, hold on, I'm on the phone. He goes, oh, okay. And he just fucking stood there for a little bit. And I didn't think it was anything important, so I'm just like, whatever. So I'm on the phone with Jimmy for like a good 15, 20 minutes. He's just talking to me, you know, just talking the talk. So the way I saw it is, the longer I was on the phone with him, the more I was telling him about what's going on in the store, the less likely he would show up at the store. Because my boss only showed up like maybe once or twice a week. And other than that, I never saw my boss. I was the GM. I got to do whatever I wanted, and I would see my manager once in a while. So I figured, talk him on the phone. Doesn't show up. That's great. Everybody wins, right? Everybody's happy. I finally get off the phone, and I'm like, yeah, what's up? And Jonathon looks at me dead in the face, no urgency in his face or voice. He goes, hey, Wing Street's on fire. You should probably do something about that. And I'm like, what? Like, voice, I can't scream right now, but my voice just escalated to opera singing levels. Like, what do you mean? Because it was an old-fashioned Wing Street that was ran off of propane, and you know, propane can blow up. So I run into the side door where the servers go when they're carrying out food, and I see the make line, and you know the make line's still closed or whatever, and all I see is this orange glow emanating off of it, and I'm like that. So I run up to it, turn the corner, run down there to where Wing Street is, and it's just a gulf of flame. And my other manager, Jose, who also didn't make any effort to come tell me, but it doesn't matter because he was obviously busy trying to put it out. Makes sense, I guess. The thing was running for it was burning for about 15 minutes, by the way. And it was pretty good indication that my smoke alarms were out and they weren't up to date because, you know, smoke alarm didn't go off, fire department didn't come. Jose was about to start throwing water on it because I guess he was like trying to fan it down or something the whole time. He was about to throw water. I was like, it is grease. There is grease and oil in here. You do not throw water on that. That's how you fucking burn yourself. So I'm like, there's a fire extinguisher right here, you dumb fuck. Like, come on, both of you. So I grabbed the fire extinguisher, but also I don't know how to work one because I never had to use one before. So who's the real dumb fuck? And me and Jose are like sitting there trying to spray, but nothing's coming out. We found out there's a pin you're supposed to pull. I didn't know that. Nobody ever taught me. So I pulled the pin and just sprayed the whole thing down. And the flame goes out. And Jonathon just standing there like that. And me and Jose like start taking it apart. And I had to call Jimmy and told him what happened. And Jimmy was like, is everybody okay? Is everything caught on fire? I was like, no, it's fine. We got it under control. He's like, all right, you're just going to have to take it outside and spray it out really good. You can't open until you get that shit cleaned. I'm like, oh, damn it. Wasted my money for my store, right? So we're like cleaning it up, and I finally stopped and I looked at Jonathon after like, you know, a few minutes of trying to get this like organized and cleaned up and whatever. And I look at him, I'm like, what the fuck is the matter with you? Why didn't you tell me? He goes, oh, you were on the phone. And I was like, this is a fire. This is important. You could have told me. You could have said anything. And he goes, oh, I used to light things on fire all the time. Fire doesn't scare me. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever been so done with somebody in my life, man. I can't wrap my mind around it. I really can't understand how somebody could be this goddamn stupid. But see, that's the funny thing about all this. He's not even the dumbest person I've ever met. He's just a funny example of who you should never hire in a restaurant. I don't really have any more words I can say about Jonathon. Like I said, there are other stories I could do with him. He's a very funny person. He's just not ha-ha funny. Alright, this image of Randall is depressing me. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you got a good kick out of that. I'll probably do some more Jonathon stories if you guys want. I've got a couple. I got a good amount. Jesus fuck. Alright, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Let me go ahead and end this.